Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Ryan with Degenerate Passive Income coming to you today on a Tuesday evening, the DeFi date night, October 21st. We are back. We are both done traveling. We're finally back in our normal territory, and we're forging ahead. Obviously, ladies and gentlemen, we're here to talk about Bernard bonds. We're here to talk about DexFi, treasury bonds, EarnFi, the whole works, honor versus madness, everything, guys. One team builds it all. AJ Brockman himself, he is with us tonight, just like he is every single week. The only team, ladies and gentlemen, that shows their faces, not hiding behind a screen, always in the chats, willing to answer questions. He's a busy guy, guys. So, if you're asking questions in the Telegram, give him a little bit of time. He's got lots of stuff going on. They will get answered, obviously. So, AJ, I know you're busy. Thank you for taking the time every week and doing this. I know it means a lot to a lot of people. And I think it's, it needs to be said that everybody appreciates it. And people like to put a face to the name. And you're here every week with us, like other multiple AMAs you do, on Honor versus Madness and EMP. And nobody else is doing it. Nobody else is transparent. And no one else answers the hard questions like us, which is important. That's what we do here, guys. Please ask questions. That's what we're here to do right now. We're going to go over Plazm as well. I forgot that one on the list. And AJ might have a little bit something to announce tonight, too. That is very, very exciting. So we'll let him do that whenever he feels the need to. So with that said, AJ, welcome back for our Tuesday date night. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Ryan. Yeah, bro. Always appreciate the kind words. And yeah, man, I love being a part of this with you. We've done it now almost 6 months running. I think I hold the record for the most AMAs in all of crypto. Again, been here 10 plus years now. With our other protocols, EMP, doing daily AMAs for almost 2 years. And now, like you said, I am pretty busy, so we've narrowed it down to once a week here with you, Ryan, and then once a week on Thursdays with our other ecosystems. But yeah, man, DeFi Day Night in full swing, and always love to bring you some alpha. We'll hint at that in a bit for sure.
Excellent. So yeah, stay tuned in, guys, for the alpha. I think it's gonna be something crazy. I'm excited to talk. We're not going to talk a lot about it, guys, because it's not even set in stone yet, but it's just an idea. And I think it's going to be insane. And it's going to help out Bernard Bonds, the TBL. Bernard Bonds helps out DexFi. DexFi is the mothership for everything down the road, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to build it big. We're going to build it the best. And that's what we do here. And that's what we talk about here every single week. All right, guys. So with that said, let's start with Bernard bonds, AJ. Let's talk about the 2-week epoch. Can you explain how it is going forward?
Yeah, absolutely, Ryan. So we did have some questions about this week. Again, if there is questions, please feel free to write them in the chat as well. We'll get to them. No questions off the table as always. But yeah, there was a little confusion because Bernard bonds are pretty much double what DexFi bonds are, and a lot of that has to do with our yield. I mean, we've been seeing record yield on both treasury bonds and Bernard bonds, but we did do an upgrade 2 weeks ago that moved us back to a 2-week epoch on Bernard bonds. So a lot of you might remember that about, again, 2 or 3 weeks ago, there was a similar situation where the APR was a lot higher because it was actually accounting for 2 weeks. So don't panic. Again, the APR you see right now is legitimate. Again, it will end up going down when we do the next epoch injection. So and who knows, maybe by then there isn't a volatility, it won't go down. But I just want to make sure everybody has a lot of set their expectations. And regardless, I mean, 80 to 90% APR week after week after week. If you actually average out the APR that we've been paying, even with a variable rate, it's still well over 75%. So that's super bullish. Obviously some weeks are higher than others, but that's just bullish for those that stay in bonds as well. And we've also had a lot of our compounding start to kick in, where we're really trying to protect principal balance as well. So, the actual ETH price of bonds should start leveling out on both Bernard and Treasury bonds. But yeah, man, you can't complain with over 150% APR, right, Ryan? Even though the market is not wanting to cooperate, it seems like every time we jump on a Tuesday stream, we have a pullback in the market. But remember, although it is a bummer to see ETH go down, it usually means that volume is picking up. And we do see a nice little bounce on the chart too. So I'm not worried. Fundamentally, everything is solid. We just got to get through these volatile times. So.
Right. Yeah. This is the number that's important, guys. I'm not super concerned about the price of ETH. I mean, obviously, I hold a ton of ETH, like AJ does as well. $50 billion a day in volume. We're making crazy fees on that. Last week we saw 70 and $80 billion. So the volume is still there. That means we're printing crazy fees, and that's how Bernard Bonds makes their money. That's how we're getting our, we're getting our USDC dropped in our wallet every minute, guys. So don't panic. I know everyone's a little bit, and maybe we should touch on that too, AJ. People are seeing the price of, oh my gosh, my bond price is going down. It's 0.0353 right now. When I bought, it was at point. If you were in right away, you bought at 0.098, I think it was, and it was like $275 is what I bought. So I'm down about $140 probably. About cut in half. But I've also taken, because we're on month number 4. We're over 4 months old now, because we started June 11th, Bernard Bonds. So that's July, August, September. Yeah, 4.5 months right now. So we've been rolling, paying every day, guys. No pauses, no garbage. And it's been paying. And I've taken USDC. Here is my bag, guys. You can see minted bonds. I minted these on June 11th, right there for 0.1. Where was it? 0.1 ETH and 0.1955 ETH. And I'm still up 73%. I have no qualms about making, that's over 20, that's almost, what was that, about 18% a month. So I'm happy about that, totally happy. Obviously, if you got in later, like my other couple wallets, yes, I'm minus, but I'm still gaining USDC every single day, dropping into my wallet that is withdrawable instantly anytime you want, guys. Fee free, press the claim button and approve, and bam, it's in your wallet 5 seconds later. So AJ, maybe you could explain, your thoughts and what do you think about the bond price, and maybe explain how it works a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was a great overview, Ryan. I know we do this week after week after week. So if you're brand new, maybe check out some of the older AMAs just to get a kind of a grasp on how to enter. We'll go over that too as well. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, and again, we do talk about it every week, but I'm happy to continue to do that because I think it helps put perspective on things. And nobody has a magic wand, right? So ultimately, the best case scenario would be that your principal balance always goes up, you're earning incredible APR, and we're all billionaires. Like that is ultimately what we want, right? Well, unfortunately, again, we don't have a magic wand, and it's not as easy as that sounds. So with bonds, you are sacrificing a little bit of the upside potential on these assets, but you sacrifice that in terms of yield. So this again is more of a yield producing vehicle where you're not going to be able to buy the bottom and sell the top like you would if you were just holding ETH spot or in your wallet. And there's also a lot of nuance to that because buying low and selling high is also really, really hard, as simple as that sounds. And so, bonds are really a no-brainer or easy button, like we like to call them, where you're prioritizing the yield, and in return, you may have a little bit of principal erosion, but the goal is that the yield always outweighs any sort of principal erosion as well. And if you're bullish on ETH long term, or crypto in general, then over time, the prices will go up. And if you zoom out on any major blue chip chart, yeah, I mean go to that, Ramsey. Even though there's been a lot of volatility, it's up and to the right overall. So the whole idea is that you still get exposure to crypto markets, and you're earning yield along the way, and that yield will most likely mitigate any short-term losses. And again, we say it a lot too, but these are all unrealized losses. So until you sell, you're not really down, although you are on paper. And we feel like when there is a bull run, more specifically an alt season, because we do have exposure to a lot of alt tokens. That isn't to say that we're exposed to memes or what's lovingly referred to as shit tokens. But we, a lot of these projects do go down, and even some great fundamentals have bled out, especially a lot of the AI projects that we had exposure to. However, in a matter of days, if not hours, they can recover, and we've seen that over the last 2 days with Avantis, AVNT, and another one as well. I forget off the top of my head. I'll have to look at our exposures when you pull that page up. But both of those went up fairly dramatically over the last 2 or 3 days. So, we are still DCAing into projects we believe in. And remember, like Ryan said at the beginning of the show, what matters is the volume. So as long as things are producing volume, even if they're down dramatically, that volume will far outweigh, and the fees that we get from that will far outweigh over the long run. And again, bonds, it's very mathematically uh, um, unlikely. Again, I don't want to say guaranteed because nothing in crypto is guaranteed, but it's highly, highly unlikely that bonds would ever go to zero. And so again, by compounding as well, and that's another thing I wanted to bring up too, while I'm thinking about it. Obviously we don't want to recommend compounding. We want you to do what you want to do and how you see fit. That's the beauty of self-custody in crypto, where you can, sell or buy or do whatever you want. But in a product like this, it is beneficial to compound when bonds are low in both dollar value and ETH value. And the reason that is again simply DCA or dollar cost averaging. When prices are down, there's a lot more upside potential than downside potential. And there's no inflation here. Everything is real yield. So compounding is really more viable. I know a lot of people get turned off by compounding because there's no real yield attached to it. And so, you don't want to essentially, quote unquote, go down with the ship. But this is a completely different scenario because we're actually able to generate yield. It's all transparent as well. So I guess that's a good segue, Ryan. If you open up the DBank, all you can see everything on chain down to the dollar, and we can't fake this even if we wanted to. So yeah, that's another reason that um, uh, we're doing things very differently than other protocols that may or may not claim to do the same thing we do.
Yeah, exactly, guys. When you press this button right here, and a lot of people still don't know this guy right here, the current fund value, this number 733, this little arrow right here, it's going to bring you to DBank. Now, DBank tracks every single dollar that goes in and out of this wallet. All right. We've got $24,569 in assets right now. Saving it for a rainy day, saving it for, buying up, going into different vaults, creating new vaults, going into existing vaults. When they see a decent entry, guys, it shows every single vault we are in right here, all like 30 of them. Okay. We got BNB, we got Sonic, we've got the works happening right here. It doesn't give the ranges, obviously, so we're not giving away the secret sauce. People know the entries and exits and the ranges that is set. So some people might try to copy it, whatever, let them do that. It doesn't matter. They're going to get wrecked because, they just don't have, like, all of these aren't AILM, guys, okay? Every single one of these are not. All right. We use Jake and AJ's expertise. That's why it's called the easy button, because I don't want to do that whatsoever. So guys, take a look at it. I mean, you click transactions. It'll show you when people minted, hour and 48 minutes ago. There's someone minted all the way down. Someone redeemed, looks like about 4 or 5 bonds here. Good for them. Thank you very much for the 10%. Now, when you sell and redeem, guys, there's a 10% tax. That tax does not go to AJ, doesn't go to me, doesn't go to anybody else besides back into it. Stays in the protocol, stays in the vaults, earning and rewarding us OG investors who are sticking it out. And we get a slice of that 10% every single month. And I say this every week, ladies and gentlemen. If you're in this for 1-2 months, don't bother. Go do something else. If you're in it for the long haul, 6 months, a year, 3 years, 5 years, I have a feeling that you're going to be heavily rewarded generously later down the road. That is my opinion. That is not financial advice. But once again, guys, it's all right in front of your face. Everything is here. I don't know what else to say about it, because there is no more transparency besides this. This is the only way you can do it. Nobody else does it. Okay. Nobody else has doxed wallets. Nobody else shows you this information ever, anywhere. Okay. Let's just get that out of the way. So with that said, there's a couple questions. Maybe let's get to those.
Yeah, for sure. And just while you go through them real quick, Ryan, I just want to say the other asset I forgot about earlier was Zora. So AVNT and Zora had a really great run this week, and so that's been helping, balance the exposure. And again, when we get a real alt season where all of the assets that we're exposed to run, then we're golden. And even if you're looking at things in terms of dollar value, we don't even need an alt season. We just need ETH to double, and your dollar value of bonds is literally where we started, right? I mean,
Right.
what we started about 250 per bond, Ryan, somewhere in there. So yeah, I mean, again, it's all relative, and again, that's not a promise. I'm just trying to outlay, how the actual math could play out for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So JMC Panic says the thing is, it looks like we got on so many alts that ETH price doesn't really matter that much. We started with $250 bonds with ETH costing like 2,000, and now ETH is 4,000, but we're still 50% down on bonds. JMC Panic, I don't know when you bought ETH at 2,000 bucks, but let's go over here and we'll go to June 11th, which when this thing was launched, and we are going to see what ETH was. June 11th was $2,800. $2,800 bucks is when the ETH was. So 2,800, yeah. Bonds are down, GMC Panic, but it's not as bad as you think. I mean, listen, if you think that we're going the wrong way, you should probably sell, cut your losses if you don't believe in the project, which is fine. There are non-believers. It doesn't matter. And you're not trying to start FUD or nothing, but you know what? This is the way I think of things, because if you would have bought a month later, so say July 11th, it was $3,000. August 11th was $4,300. Like, we can't time that. You can't time that. If we could, we'd all be stinking filthy rich. Totally. And if you're trying to time the tops and bottoms, you're going to fail miserably. I'm glad you're here, though, JMC Panic. I know you're in. No idea how much you have in. Maybe you're in heavy and maybe feel a little frustrated. I get it. But you know what? We're here in front of you answering questions, and you're getting USDC dropped into your wallet, and that will not stop, JMC Panic. All right? So
yeah, no doubt. Yeah. And I think you covered it great, Ryan. Again, I mean, this is not a magic solution of, principal balance always going up and yield. You are getting that yield by having exposure to other assets, and those assets are way down on some compared to our entries. So again, I mean, we could even pull that up, Ryan. I don't know if you have Dex Screener up just to illustrate this, but like Zora would be a good example. Yeah, if you just go to Dex Screener,
Dex Screener.
I think this would be helpful to people.
Dex Screener. Bam.
Yep, and then Zora on base. Zora. Yeah.
Zora on base. Where you
Yep.
at?
There you go.
Right there.
Yep,
USDC.
the first one's probably fine. So yeah, if you zoom out here, Ryan, again, we got great entries in this, but the chart was up and down. I mean, keep going. I don't know. I think Zora launched even after we did bonds even. But yeah, if you keep going, I mean, look, that's
Oh,
been
yeah.
down and to the right. So remember, we have exposure to these other tokens, and unfortunately, it has to be that way because that's what generates the fees. So, overall, and yeah, I mean, I don't know when, so October, yeah, of last year. So yeah, if you look at when we started, we did get great entries, but you can see, that overall the volatility is there. Oh, and this is in USDC, this chart, not in ETH. So,
Oh, yeah.
that might help. That might be helpful too. Um, yeah.
Zora ETH, where you at? Zora USDC ETH right there.
Yep. Okay. So
All
yeah,
right.
we look at that too. As you can see, and again, this is just one example. But overall, we have exposure to these, and we hope that it goes up. But sometimes it doesn't. And Zora has been performing well. If you look at Banker, on the other hand, and we can look at that one next, Ryan. That one's been down. So the idea is that we diversify enough that one particular asset isn't gonna kill us. Yeah, BNKR, and then yeah, this one has been pretty brutal. It's been down and to the right, well, almost always. Even yeah, when we got in, I think 4 months of down and to the right. So, but again, because we've been DCAing into these, and the fund also compounds into these, then we get even a 10% bump, and our cost basis is now even. So that is the beauty of the system, is because we're always compounding a part of principal. I mean, a part of yield back into principal, and that's the power of dollar cost averaging. So we don't have to rely on getting to a new all-time high. We just have to rely on at least not bleeding out to zero. And literally all the projects that we are exposed to have great fundamentals. I mean, we look for thick liquidity. Again, Banker still has $2.8 million of liquidity, and that's just on the ETH pair. Good founders, good economics. We're by no means getting involved in memes. And as we start to grow and the fund matures and we get more capital, we can move into more blue chips like Bitcoin, ETH pairs. People have also recommended stables, but just realize that by doing so, you then sacrifice the APR. So it's a very delicate balance where we have to keep principal intact and prioritize yield at the same time. And so, again, I think we've done a really great job at that. And those that are still stacking, when we do finally have an alt season, it'll be, me and Ryan on here saying, we told you so. And again, that's not to convince you. Like Ryan said at the beginning of this little section, if you're not happy or you don't believe in what's happening or you get scared, then by all means, anybody can redeem and get their ETH and move on. So we're not here to convince anybody. I know I am incredibly bullish on bonds, both DexFi and Bernard, and I have an unhealthy amount of my net worth in both. So yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, guys. Like AJ said, and I said already. If you're not meant for the long game, don't bother. I mean, this is for. This is not short-term stuff. Go into the 2.5% a day things. Whatever people want to do these days. There's a couple out there that I've seen some other promoters doing. I mean, and that's fine. I get it. That's what you want to do. My ETH. AJ holds a ton of ETH, cheaper than I hold a ton of $900 ETH. Okay. I continue to buy ETH on the dips. My ETH that I have sitting in my ledger has made me 0 USDC in the last 4 months. So I'm not super concerned about I think I have like 80 grand in the Bernard bonds. and about half that into treasury bonds. Okay, guys. And that's a lot. That's a big amount of money to me. And
For sure.
but that ETH, yes, the bond price that went down, but it's made me USDC along the way, helping that, to go along. My ETH that's been sitting in my ledger has been going down, just sitting there. So it's just a way of me putting some of my ETH to work. And AJ is doing the same, obviously. And this is, like AJ said, it's not to convince anybody. You guys do what you want to do. You want to stack ETH in your ledger, you're smart doing that, okay? I want to get some of my ETH working for me. So this is what I do. And I also want the easy button. And the easy button is called Bernard Bonds, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Let's just get that out of the way.
100%, Ryan. I love it. And yeah, I got you beat. I think the lowest I ever bought ETH was like $300. So to be able to, yeah, bro, to be able to go back in time, right? And it would BNB. I know I said this on the last stream. That was the one that really stings. I was buying BNB at $8. So, oh man,
I think my cheapest BNB was, oh man, I think 205 or something like that. I was buying BNB at. I'm like, but I mean, still, that's a 5x right now. You know,
totally. Well, and again, you hit the nail on the head, Ryan. It's about being in the markets long enough. Again, you zoom out. 2-3 years from now, we're not going anywhere. We've been through multiple cycles. That's another thing that we should mention. People say, well, what happens when we have a bear market? Well, number one, I think we're on an extended cycle where we're not going to see bear markets like we used to. But even if we do, the vaults have been around for going on 4 years now. So that's been, a bull and bear cycle, if not a 2 or 3 mini bull and bear cycles, and we've always been able to generate yield. So again, it's not really a case of like, this goes away at any time. And yeah, I mean, the whole idea is you continue to earn and yield and DCA, and you're here for the long run. And 2-3 years from now, your principal is doubled or tripled, and you've been earning passive income the entire time along the way. So again, it's not a guarantee, but just put it in perspective. And one more thing too, I mean, we never recommend going all in. And if you are still skeptical of the longevity, then I would definitely use some of your yield to just buy and hold Bitcoin or ETH as well. So that's another great way to protect against, or diversify against what you may think, erosion will do to you. So.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And also JMC Panic has got a good point. Also, compounding isn't really that possible for people with small bond amounts because we might need 2 to 3 months just to get to 150. So I'm not sure if it's worth it or is it. If I have a couple, 3 bonds, say I have, well, let's take this account right here, 7 bonds. Okay. Last time I claimed was, I can't even remember, like 5 days ago or something. I'm using this USDC because this position is so small. Obviously, I have a position with like 170 bonds in it. I'm using this to fund my gas that I need for different transactions, or maybe I'll take some out and put I'll put some I'll exchange the ETH on base and I'll put it into Plazm, like a new creation or something. I use these small amounts. If I had something like this, that's what I would do, JMC. Like if you're a small fish, which is, there's nothing wrong with small fish, all right? Small fish become big fish one day. I was a small fish back in the day, right? Well, now I'm a little bit a bigger fish, and we appreciate the small fish as well. If I was you, I would probably just, buy ETH or buy Bitcoin with that money, a little bit at a time, and just hold it. Don't compound. Take your rewards. We're not preaching compound here, guys. Take your rewards. Do whatever you need with it. Pay some bills. Buy ETH. Buy Bitcoin on the dips. You do what you want. But that's a very good point, GMC. The smaller fish. Peter says, I say compound it. After a month or two, you'll have broken even on the 10%. The 10% fee. Not much more danger than just buying ETH. I mean, you can. If you're buying ETH, it's going to go up. It's a catch-22, guys. I mean, you can go either way. There probably isn't no right or wrong. If I'm doing it with this kind of bag, I'm probably just buying ETH and not compounding. That's just my opinion. Peter could be right. What do you think, AJ?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, again, it's relative. If you have an ETH bag already, then you're good to go. You can compound and get ahead a little bit, so to speak. But if not, then rebuilding your ETH or Bitcoin bag through yield, I think is also a really good move. Again, the only caveat to that is, you will absolutely get ahead of the game if you're compounding when bonds are low in price. So again, if you think we're gonna have an alt season in the next few months, and that the top is not in, then by all means, compounding may be a little bit more advantageous. If you think the top is in, and we're just coasting along now, then take that USDC and just keep it as USDC, or use that to buy the dips. Again, there's just a lot. There's so many variables that it's impossible for us to say everything, and that's why we just want to give you all the options, and then it's up to you to play it the way you want. And yeah, the other option is what you said, Ryan. Get in and just milk it dry. Claim every week, every minute, and just pay your bills from the yield, and don't ever worry about compounding or buying more ETH. You use it as just a revenue generating machine until the wheels fall off. So
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
there's no, again, no. And the other cool part is it doesn't affect the ecosystem. So unlike other Ponzi's or tokens that inflate, you hear founders or project or the community even saying buy more, compound. This is not the situation. If everybody exited tomorrow, the the money would still be there. So again, it's not a matter of trying to convince people to do things that benefit the protocol. The protocol will make money no matter who compounds or who withdraws. So that's another bullish aspect.
Exactly, guys. And you heard AJ say if everybody withdrew 5,369 bonds tomorrow within 48 hours during the work week, they're getting their money back, whatever those bonds are worth. The money is there. It's 100% collateralized all the time, ladies and gentlemen. Not a lot of places, I don't know of any, to be honest, can say that,
For
or
sure.
that shows everything on chain like we do right here, guys. Okay, just a heads up. Peter says, can you tell us how the AI is learning and improving every day? Do you expect yield to increase substantially over the coming years because the AI is better?
Yeah, that's a great question, Peter. So, and again, shout out to him. I know he's been asking some great questions, and sometimes it's hard to do it on the live. So I appreciate him being here tonight. But yeah, the answer is yes. I mean, the AI is always learning, and so based on volatility and volume, and even down to like news events, like when Trump tweets the next latest thing. I mean, we're always pulling in data and feeding the AILM with all that. So yeah, in theory, over time, the more data that we have to go on, and the more real results that the AI LM has been able to produce, it gets better and better. So and again, we would love to fully move to a completely decentralized protocol as well too. So right now, again, it is still a bit of relying on entry and exit timing, and what projects we think have a good volume to liquidity ratio, which is really the main thing that we look at. We want protocols with at least $500,000 to $1 million of liquidity, but tens of millions of dollars in volume, because those are the protocols that generate the most fees for LP providers. Again, some inside baseball for those that are joining the AMAs. But that being said, when AI gets even better than it is now, then we could potentially train the AI to do all of that, and actually be what we call an agent, where it can perform actions as well. So that technology really is not quite there yet, but I mean, we're moving at the speed of light. We could see that happen within a year for sure. So yeah,
Right.
we're always experimenting, and pushing the limit, with all that. So yeah, great question. And yeah, I mean, who knows? By the time we dial all that in, the APR could be even higher. So I'm excited for that for sure.
Exactly. Yeah. And Henry Jones's bonds will keep paying, and the prices will recover. I think so. I think you're right, Henry. I'm not too panicked about it. I know they'll keep paying because if ETH's not going away in either of the alts, in my opinion. So JT Smith says, any chance you guys might add Skoya to the mix? Opera Chain AI? I have no idea what that even is, AJ. Maybe you're smarter than I am.
Yeah, so again, that one is not ringing a bell offhand. Opera is, from my understanding, another blockchain maybe. But yeah, I mean, we always look at different tokens. If I guess not to be a jerk, but if somebody's shilling a token, that's usually a red flag that we won't get exposure to it. But again, I'm just being facetious. So yeah, we'll all look into it. I mean, we're in the trenches every day. We're looking at different protocols and what might be a good fit. We are only on 4 chains at the moment though. AVAX, BNB, Base, and one more I'm forgetting. Yeah, Solid. There you go. Thank you, Ryan. So yeah, I don't know if it's on any of those, then we can. If it's on a different chain, for some reason maybe that's not what you mean, but Opera that was an L2. But anyway, then no, we can't. Oh, it's on BNB. All right, awesome. So yeah, I'll look into it. And yeah, I mean, we have to definitely do a deep dive. We usually make sure it's a proven team, plenty of liquidity, good economics, and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I'll take a look. So, and yeah, the cool part too is if any of you have a pair that you want to be in the vaults, you can just go to DexFi.com and add it under oh yeah, every time, bro. Whenever we're on the lives, it does that. So if you are there on farm request, oh hang on, yep,
Farm
under
request. Yeah.
yep, oh there it goes. Okay. So yeah, anybody can add a proposal to a farm. So you literally, JT, if you go to the CEO AI a deck screener link and copy and paste that into this form at the top right up there, Ryan, that button to create proposal. Yep, right there. Yep. You just paste the deck screener link right there, and it will submit it to being added to the vault. So I would start there, and then we'll look at it, as it gets approved, and we can decide if we allocate. But again, it's usually we have a lot of metrics that we go through before we start adding exposure to the overall vaults for sure.
Right.
So.
And yeah, guys, I mean, if you don't like the easy button and you like control, you want to do the, searching, the researching the coins, doing whatever, paying attention to this. I come in here once a week, every Tuesday night, and I check this. I do not look at it all week long. I have 3 coins that I'm in. I initially put $500. I had to get rid of 2 of them, so I took the profit out on all those and my principal because I was the only liquidity in it. And so I was like, well, that one's kind of gone, so I'm just going to take my profit. But look what I'm getting here. I'm getting $1.06 a day on my $231, 788% APY. And I just asked AJ 4 months ago and said, hey, give me 5 coins. What do you think they're going to be doing? Later on, I'm doing this just for content. I'm going to pay no attention to it. Obviously, I could claim what? What can I even claim here? My profit, $78. So this would be I've only claimed once since May. All right. So whatever that's made me, I don't keep track of it. It's very little money. Doesn't mean a lot to me, but it's making me money, right? 1.4% a day. This is making on my $41. It's small potatoes to me, but it's just for content. But you don't have to talk to me. You don't have to talk to AJ. You go up here, connect your wallet, get yourself some ETH on base, and go into any farm you want and
For sure.
do it yourself. It's a lot of, and a ton of people do it, guys. I mean, look at the TVL in this thing. It's crazy. You know, $2.1 million worth of well, that's bonds.
Yeah, bonds. Go back to vaults at the
Would
top
be
there.
what?
Yeah,
Well,
there you go.
if we can get this to
Yep,
work,
there
yeah,
it is.
4.3 million bucks.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a lot of money that people have in their own vaults, and some people are actually they're killing the game because they pay very close attention to it, and they're making a ton of money. I don't have time for it. That's just me. I'm not smart enough. I don't have the patience to look at the coins and research them. I don't even know what coins I'm in right now. Do not care. It's for content only, just to prove, show you guys that it's doable. Connect your wallet, go into a pair, whatever you think is good, and have at it. Do your research. Some of you like doing that. I don't like doing that. I want to come over here and I want the easy button. It's a beautiful thing, and I want to buy some bonds and just let it ride and collect my USDC every single week. I collect weekly, guys. Okay.
100%, Ryan. I love it, man. And yeah, I mean, just to clarify, the vaults that Ryan just showed, this is the bonds on the back end. So again, like there would be physically impossible to manage more than, maybe 2 or 3 LP positions as a human. So all this is all smart contract based. Nobody is, sitting in their basement, adding to LP every time somebody gets involved. So it is all decentralized. And yeah, I mean, if you have the time and knowledge to do it on your own, then by all means, like this is the bread and butter of our ecosystem. But like Ryan said, a lot of us, and even me, like I have the knowledge and ability to do this on my own, but I don't have the time. So I would much rather just go into bonds and earn from everybody as a whole, rather than trying to do it one-on-one. So yeah, again, no right or wrong answer, and I hope everybody that's on this AMA will strive to learn how to self custody and do it on their own. But I know I like the easy button just as much as anybody. So
exactly. And guys, get a couple treasury bonds too. Diversify a little bit. APR 84% right now. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. There's 17,000 of these bonds minted right now, and they're just as good. The APR has been a little bit less. We can't count this last week, guys, obviously, because we're on the 2-week epoch now. But when I figured it out, Bernard Bonds has been outperforming treasury bonds by very, very little. Okay. And it's held up its value by like $10 every on each bond. So it's not a huge difference. It could very much flip in the next week. So because there are DexFi is the treasury bonds some of them are in different vaults. Bernard Bonds, we're in a couple better vaults, but that could flip next week or next month, and it could be even Steven or treasury bonds could be above us by a few percent. It's something that you need to diversify in, and not saying you should, but if you're concerned about it, get a couple treasury bonds instead of the Bernard Bonds, or if you have treasury bonds, get a couple Bernard Bonds. Vice versa, do whatever you want. Not financial advice, but why is it that Bernard Bonds outperforms DexFi bonds by so much, just better at picking LPs? Well, I think we just touched on that, but I'll let you talk about that, AJ.
Yeah, absolutely. So as of right now, if you're just looking at the week APR, it's almost double. So Peter, you may have been a little bit late, but we are on two-week cycles on Bernard bonds and 1-week cycles on DexFi. So again, if you divide that 150% APR roughly, and again, the math doesn't work totally like that, but you're looking very, very similar APR between both of them. So again, like Ryan said, we've done the historic data, and that's another reason why APR, we have to show an APR because we don't want to be accused of bait and switch, knowing that it is variable. If you enter in Bernard bonds right now, that is the APR that's coming out. So, however, it's variable. So be prepared that it goes up and down over time. And APR is annual percentage rate. So over the year, again, we have an average, and that average, like Ryan just said, between each protocol, it's been roughly within 2 or 3% overall. The only thing with Bernard bonds is that it has held the NFT value a little bit more, and that is simply just by what you said, Peter. It's more not necessarily picking better LPs, but timing in the LPs. So again, Bernard bonds launched a little bit later, so maybe we were able to deploy capital in LPs that were down more against DexFi. And so therefore, when things have recovered, it's been able to outperform a little bit. So it's really just a nuance of entry and exit timing. And again, if you open up DBank for both Treasury bonds and Bernard bonds, they're almost identical. So again, we don't prioritize one thing over another. They're all a lot of the same assets in both. So
yeah, these are pretty much exactly the same, just bigger numbers in DexFi
exactly.
because there's more bonds, guys. All right, I mean that's just part of the deal. Very close in percentages, very close in what the NFT is worth. I don't worry about it. I got big bags in both. I like to be diversified, and that's just these are just tools in my toolbox that gets me diversified every single week. And before we stop talking about Bernard bonds, AJ, maybe you should talk about what could possibly be happening in the very near future, and we'll continue on from there.
Yeah, 100%, Ryan. So again, we got a little bit of alpha. I'm not going to drop the entire alpha because we're the masters of the T's. But we are excited to hopefully have some more things built on top of Bernard bonds. So we've had such great success with Plazm, and we'll talk about that next a little bit. But and we didn't want to have a competing protocol, but we do want to build things that or facilitate building things that actually increase TVL in Bernard bonds. So we're working on that now. We have some announcements coming over the next few weeks. But again, without spilling the beans, it will be a direct way of increasing TVL in Bernard bonds and give all of you another opportunity to potentially earn and benefit those that are already in and will be coming into Bernard bonds as we go. So there you go, Ryan. A little bit of alpha,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, totally.
I know what it is, guys. It's the craziest thing I've ever heard. I love it because I do it myself. I'll leave it at that, and
For sure.
it's going to be great. So I can't wait to to make an announcement on it because it's gonna be for it's going to be around Bernard bonds. We'll say that, okay? It's going to be involved with that, and I'm super excited about it. So that's all we can say, AJ. We can't say anything more about it.
Yeah, I know. I want to spill the beans, but yeah, and again, it is built on top of Bernard bonds, so it's utilizing this real yield mechanism in a really cool, unique way. And yeah, like Ryan said, it's a very popular pastime that I think a lot of people will be excited for.
Right. Okay. I think we're done talking about our bonds, guys, and DexFi. Any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. We are now going to talk about latest and greatest Plazm. AJ, what is happening here? These ROIs don't seem to be going down. We're past our 21-day. What was it? 21 days was important. What was it all about again? I can't remember.
Yeah, absolutely. So Plazm is the latest and greatest to our ecosystem. And again, we have full deep dives on this, but essentially it's what we call a daily creation platform where part of the supply of the token is coming out over time and it goes to those that create in the system. So right now, this creation ROI is 18,000%, which obviously is insane. And overall, that number will definitely come down. Right now, it's dashboard money, but who doesn't love to see 250% daily? So yeah, but the whole idea is that we are utilizing these daily creation platforms in a very unique way, and so all the ETH that is used to create the supply of Plazm goes to bonds, and bonds are then able to buy and burn the token indefinitely. And so this is a really, really cool way And again, basically um, a puzzle piece of different protocols that has never been done before. And it almost acts as a tokenizing of the bonds themselves. So again, creating now with max length stakes is the highest ROI. Another bit of alpha, we have a new addition coming to Plazm that will make this even more simple for everybody. Again, we love the easy button, so I'll let you guys speculate on what that might be. But we're always trying to get more and more TVL into bonds. And then right now, it's roughly about $900 a day in buying pressure on Plasm. So we have not turned that up yet because, like you said, Ryan, the magic number is day 77. Right now we're on day 23, so we have about 50 days left or so, and we've already started to see some of the supply come out, and the price really hasn't been dumping. So the first unlocks of supply were around day 20, so we're 3 days in already, with a big amount coming out on day 77. But the whole idea is that we get enough ETH in bonds by day 77 that we have thousands of dollars of buying pressure when that happens. And so if you go to stats, Ryan, really quick, you can see, and then go to the bottom. So yeah, we have almost 94 ETH now in vaults or in bonds, and that's obviously a buy and burn that never depletes. So with other protocols like this, all the ETH just goes to a treasury wallet, and then that buy and burn eventually goes to zero or gets paused or whatever else, and the protocol dies. We have solved that now because again, as long as bonds are paying, then the protocol will never go to zero. So really, really cool stuff. And yeah, we could do a whole AMA on Plasm, and we do on Thursdays, but that's kind of a high level overview for sure.
Yeah, and JT Smith just says still have zero clue how Plasm works, but love seeing the higher. Yeah, JT,
Yeah, for sure.
there's a couple YouTubers that do an amazing job at explaining this, and they've come out with ladder systems. So go to the Plasm Telegram group. They're all pinned in the messages. They're way better YouTubers than me and way more patient at explaining things to people. So go watch those videos. Like AJ just said, we could do a full hour on explaining how this thing works, and I think we'll just, where is my, let me see, portfolio right here. Explain to me what's happening in my portfolio, AJ, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you can see, Brian did some creations already, a total of 2 of them, and he put in about $3,000 worth of Ethereum, and then that goes to getting him the supply of Plasm. So when he created that, there's a ratio that determines how much Plasm he gets in the future. So again, anybody, to put in perspective, anybody can go into on an exchange and buy Ethereum outright today, right? The supply is already there, it's already out, it's in an LP. With Plasm, the supply has not been released yet, or very little of the supply has been released. So you're essentially, again, for lack of a better word, mining the supply, and you're mining rather than having a Bitcoin miner or Ethereum miner, you're mining it with capital. So when you put in your ETH, you then get Plasm in return at a much higher ratio. Again, that $3,000 is valued at $100,000 at today's value. Now, obviously, that will go down. Again, set expectations, but it could easily be a 3, 4, 5x. 77 days from now, and that is with the price of Plasm going down dramatically. So the whole idea is that you're in this, again, the same thing we promote with bonds and everything else. As long as you have a long-term mindset, because of the real yield, it is a mathematical guarantee that at some point you will still be in profit as long as you're willing to A, hold long enough, B, go back into the system and earn more Plasm, or you just wait until all the supply is out And then every single day through bonds, there's literally thousands of dollars buying and burning the supply, which will push the price up over time. So yeah, if you have, again, the first cycle is 77 days. So if you are in for at least 2 cycles, then we could see a buy and burn getting to incredible numbers. I mean, if we just extrapolate the data right now, we have about, almost over 350K of deposits into bonds in 23 days. By the time we get to day 77, that will be $1 million in bonds and about $2,500 a day buying and burning Plazm. So all of that is, again, no other protocol has done that. Like, you don't even have to have, a Michael Saylor or Tom Lee buying our Ethereum or Bitcoin bags. The treasury and the yield from bonds, we could have 0 new users, and the price would go up. So again, that's really, really cool economics for sure.
Right. Yeah. Peter says, what determines the value of Plazm? Demand of investors to participate in the project and make ROI? Are there any other uses or reasons to want to hold it?
Yeah, that's a great question too. So again, the short answer is, Plazm price is just determined by the market. Well, if we were just speculating on Plazm, between me and Ryan, I want to sell Plazm to Ryan higher than what I bought it for, right? That's how we make money. Well, with Plazm, it doesn't really work like that because there's this third person, the bonds, that is literally buying Plazm and burning it every single minute of every single day. And so if me and Ryan just hold our Plazm, it's like having this third whale that just buys the token and automatically puts Ryan and me both in profit. So again, it's one of the only protocols that literally everybody could be in profit if they're willing to hold long enough or go back into the system. Again, we don't recommend compounding, but if you want to earn more of the supply, you can, whatever you create, you get out in 77 days. You then stake that Plazm that you've just earned. You're earning even more of the supply as it comes out. So there's a lot of different ways to play the game, and this is a financial game. But overall, the economics are incredibly powerful.
Right. And then Peter says, how does the release of Plazm and the burn protocols not cancel each other out?
Yep. So again, that's another good question. In the beginning, there will be probably more potential selling pressure or supply released than what the buy and burn can handle. However, that's a temporary problem, meaning, when people sell and exit, yeah, they push the price down, but literally the minute after they leave, the buy and burn is buying and burning more Plazm. And the really cool part is the lower the price goes, the more of the supply the bonds can buy and burn. So again, you're almost rooting for the price to go down because that means you own a lot more of the supply in the long run. And if you're willing to hold and not panic sell, again, it gets really crazy when you think about it, a year from now, because Plazm is a fixed supply. That's another really important fact. So, if Plazm just kept producing and producing and producing, then yeah, Pete, you're 100% right. It would go to 0. But there is only 125 million Plazm ever to be released, and that's over 25 years. So, as time goes on, there's less and less Plazm being released to everybody. So, and because of the buy and burn, there may never be even 100 million Plazm in existence. So all of those mechanisms are what, again, mathematically guarantee that the price will go up over a long enough time frame.
Yeah, exactly. And what I'm doing, guys, I did 2 stakes, 77 days each, about the same amount of money. $2,000 of each. I did some ESHARE, and then I did some USDC, or some ETH, I mean, on base, obviously. I'm doing, I got 2 77-day stakes. When the 77-day stakes are up, I'm taking I'm taking all of it, and I'm going to stake it for 77 days. I'm taking the rest, and I'm going to create for 77 days. I'm going to do that 5 times in a row. So everything will be documented here. That's a full year, plus 20 days, 385 days. This is what I've decided to do, just for content. I don't care if it get absolutely destroyed, because you guys know if something's working, I'm going to talk about it. If something's failing, we're going to talk about it anyway. And we can compare what's doing better. We can look at all the numbers. So if you guys want to use me as the guinea pig, go right ahead. It's my $4,000. I will do it just for the content. We're going to do stakes. We're going to do it because it's the same amount of money, and we're going to do more creations, and I'm going to do it 577 different
cycles.
Yep. So that's what I'm doing, guys. So stay tuned. We're going to talk about it.
Let's go. I love it, Ryan. Yeah, it's going to be
no one else is going to show their bag. So you guys will see right in front of your face what's happening, what the numbers are, and what each stake, because it's all going to be tracked, and what each stake did. Oh, maybe I should have staked. Maybe I should have, created. A lot of people are making creations every day for maybe like $50, $100, $200, whatever it is, and building these ladders. I don't want to do that. I want to come here once every 77 days and just be like, okay, today's the day that I need to do something. That's just me. I'm lazy, guys. All right. So
I love it, man. That's going to be the Plazm soap opera, man. We're we're going to see it right in front of our eyes unfold. So are you wrecked or are you rich? Right? Yeah.
Exactly. And really, this is the only way people are going to see, how it's going to work and how it plays out, because
for sure
everything is going to be right in front of our face, and I'm not going to withdraw one Plazm or anything, and we're just going to stake, or we're going to create, stake, create for the next year. And hopefully when the 385 days is up, that'll be my last YouTube video. I'm so rich off of Plazm, I don't have to worry about it. So
I love it. Let's go. Yeah. And again, man, not to get too overconfident, but we've seen protocols like this that don't have real yield attached to them, and they really do just rely on new users be successful. I mean, TitanX, one of the OGs, has $18 million in their buy and burn right now doing nothing. So imagine, 18 million in Plazm would be 80 grand a day buying Plazm. So yeah, I mean, it scales tremendously well, and we're only 20 days in. I mean, again, almost $500,000 in the first 20 days is pretty great. So yeah, it's a long run, and I think, Ryan, it's going to be really cool to see how you did in a year from now, because by then all the sellers will be gone, and it just be up and to the right from the buy and burn. So
sure. it'll be almost a year to the date right now, because we're 20 some days in. It's 385 days, so it's going to be exciting. Next October around Halloween, maybe we'll throw a party. I might be giving away a whole bunch of money because my wallets will be full, ladies and gentlemen. So
for sure.
He says, will Plazm go on to CoinGecko?
Yeah, that's a great question. Pulse Debater, I love that name. I think you were here last week as well. But yeah, man, we're hopefully going to get listed on all the major sites right now. Again, man, we just have been going slow and steady. We did announce a great partnership today as well with DragonX, which is a protocol built on top of TitanX, and that has brought in a lot of new eyeballs. And we're tight with Eric, the developer over there, and so we want to support all protocols that are supporting us. And so yeah, I mean, we can definitely add to all the tracking sites that track all the daily creation platforms. We're also now listed on TitanX Hub with Mike Dean. That's another popular indexing site. And another bit of alpha, we're on Ravi now. So Ryan, I don't know if you noticed, it popped up for a little bit and then went away today, but we're in touch with the D-Bank team. We're tight with them. And so it will show up on your Ravi wallet and on DBank for your personal positions for Plazm. So
okay, yeah, I do not have Rabby. Like, I'm the bastard child apparently because everyone says I need to get it, but I'm a MetaMask freak, so
yeah, no doubt,
yeah,
Ryan. Well, again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, I'm a Rabby maxi. But yeah, you'll see it on DBank on your personal wallet too. So
exactly. Yeah, so that's Plazm, ladies and gentlemen. Any questions? If you want to check out Plazm, link is in the description to get signed up. It is a referral link. I get 2% of the deposit. Doesn't come out of your deposit. AJ and team is gracious enough to give it to me. I'm giving next week live. We're giving away a buttload of Bernard bonds, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I got a big bag ready to buy bonds. They're going to be airdropped to you the next day. So anybody who is infected from Bruno X, there goes my camera. Whatever.
yeah, we lost you, Ryan.
We'll deal with it.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's going to be great. So we're giving a bunch of Bernard bonds away for the Bruno X investors. All that is going. That's going back to the Bernard, whoever was infected with the Bruno X people, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we do that for Plazm. We do it for Bernard bonds. We do it for EarnFi, which we're going to talk about next, real quick, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, link in the description if you want to join Plazm. I don't think there is any more questions. Are there any new white labels for bonds like Bernard bonds coming? Still looked like we had the white labels coming, but now it kind of slowed down. I don't know about any more white labels coming.
Yeah, so we had about 3 or 4 in the pipeline. Some of them have chosen to remain private, so we still definitely have more TVL feeding. But we've kind of transitioned our outlook because every time we do a white label, it's a lot more work for us and the devs and everybody. Obviously, the white labels that are here are going to stay, and Ryan holds the reigning champion of the most successful white label. But we're probably going to move towards a fee split, similar to how we've handled the referral system in Plazm, where the referral fees don't actually impact, the balance. They just come from the yield. We're probably going to move more towards that model, and then again, that would apply to Bernard bonds or DexFi bonds. So again, any kind of way that we can scale that rewards people for helping us scale, but doesn't add, a lot more work to our plates. That's kind of where we're moving towards. So yeah, all that we'll give more updates on that. But right now, the only public white label is Bernard Bond. So shout out to Ryan for always killing the game. So, yeah.
Appreciate that, AJ. Peter says, are the referral links working? I can't see my loan one. Well,
Yeah.
if they deposited an ESHARE, Peter, you don't get any referral. But if they deposited ETH, you will get a referral. So maybe talk to whoever you sent a referral link to. If they did ESHARE, sorry, you don't get nothing. Okay. But if it's ETH on base, I think I said that right, didn't I, AJ?
Yeah, bro, 100% nailed on the head. Yeah, Peter, we all the referrals should be working. If they created with eShare, they don't get any referral. It's only on the ETH side. Again, we don't want to add additional selling pressure to eShare. So, and we have to do it through the yield to make it sustainable. So it's only on ETH. And then the only other caveat is, maybe your buddy or whoever it was clicked on a different referral link first. It is sticky. So again, to be fair to people like Ryan that are doing videos and putting content out, it is the first person that you that clicks your link, they get credit. So the only other way to potentially mitigate that is just on a new wallet. So make sure that if your buddy has a new wallet and they click your referral first, then you're locked in forever. So it's the only way that we can be fair. And you can check that on the top up there, Ryan. It says referred by next to, yep, right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So yeah, you'll be able to see your referral link, or rather who you're referred under up there. So
right. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. One more question. Is Pulse coming back to DexFi?
yeah, Gravy, another familiar avatar, I think. But yeah, man, I hope so. The short answer is I hope so. Right now, it's just so much volatility and uncertainty around Richard and the chain as a whole. We've been impacted dramatically with Spark Swap, and just a forever down chain. I'm still bullish. Again, I don't want it to be FUD, but until there's some sort of of certainty, we just can't risk, hundreds of thousands of dollars in development time to bring Pulse back. But I do hear some things in the grapevine, other dexes and other builders in the space. And when we get that infrastructure, then we can absolutely implement a Pulse again for sure.
Right. Okay. Let's talk about, we just had a cycle in, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about EarnFi real quick. We did 3% last month, AJ. Anything to add to that?
Yeah, totally. So again, EarnFi is yet another offering. Again, this is with the original devs of EMP outside of the DexFi ecosystem, but I oversee a lot of this myself as well. And yeah, it's basically a real trading bot, other than a made-up one that trades leverage on normal stocks. So we're on a licensed and insured brokerage. We do, different stocks and commodities, and it's no exposure to crypto, even though you enter and exit through crypto. And yeah, their goal every month is about 6%. Unfortunately, we had another little bit lower month, but regardless, it was still 3%. And yeah, we had people exit about 20 grand left EarnFi, and they all got paid. So yeah, it's working as intended. And Brian, did you get paid on your interest?
Yep, I got my $1,500. My 50,000 right now has made me $10,000 so far in the last 4 cycles, ladies and gentlemen. So I am not complaining. I've gotten 6% twice, and I've got 3% twice. So that's 10 grand. I'm happy with it. I've made 10 grand for doing absolutely nothing. Okay. And fee free, right? I show you guys my bag. I showed you guys the wire that I've sent my bank to buy the Polygon from Spritz. I showed you the change now from Polygon to USDC at ETH to here, USDC, everything 100% transparent. My money not given to me by any team. So we can squash all that right now. It's been amazing, guys. It's like I said before, it's another tool in my toolbox, guys, that makes me passive income. And I have a big stack into this thing. It's $50,000, a lot of money to me. So, but I trust the team as I do in Bernard Bonds and DexFi and EarnFi and, Plazm and Honor versus Madness and everything, guys. So, I mean, that's just me. There are a ton of wallets that just have $100 in that are happy to make their little percentage every month and, do that sort of thing just to test it out. Maybe they'll leap in later. Maybe they won't. It's fine. Our TVL didn't really grow that much this month. Maybe it was because we only got 3%. Well, you know what? 3% to me, 3% is 3%. Can't get that at your bank or hardly in your 401k a year. So I'm getting that a month. Totally fine with it. That's just me. It takes USDC and ETH, guys. It's $100 minimum. You have to wait another 23 and a half days from now to deposit. You've already missed the cycle, okay? I don't know how many times we go over it, but there's always someone after the cycle ends. Oh, I can't deposit for another 26. No, you can't. It's a timer, guys, okay? 26 days ends. The timer will be like, you've got 4 full days to get to withdraw your capital, withdraw your rewards, leave. Does not matter if you do, because it doesn't affect the protocol. It's nothing to do. You're paying in crypto, but it's going to trade, S&P 500 NASDAQ, right, guys? I mean, that's what this does. It gets you exposure to those things outside of crypto. So you have 4 days to get to do whatever you want. If you want to compound, you do nothing. Please take your rewards, guys. Don't, do whatever you want with them. So that's just, pay attention to the timer, right? Link in the description for EarnFi as well, okay? Referral link, I get 1% of the deposits, ladies and gentlemen. Doesn't come out of your deposit. All this adds up, snowball effects at the end of the month. I buy Bernard bonds with it, and I give them away. We spin the wheel. Me and AJ will be spinning the wheel next Tuesday night, and we're going to give away a bunch of Bernard bonds. Okay, so that's how it works. So you have 26 days or 23 and a half days right now until you can deposit, and that's the story. I don't know if we want to touch on anything else about it, AJ, or are we pretty much covered there?
Yeah, no, I think we did. Again, the AI is always learning, with the tariff talk from Trump over the last month, it really was almost too much volatility for the AI. So that's why the returns were a little bit less. We'd much rather prioritize uh, uh, trades that are in profit and protecting capital than trying to hit a home run and losing everything. So again, a little bit lower, but like Ryan said, 3% is still great. Next month it could be negative. We don't know. That's not guaranteed. But historically we've been getting 3 to 6%, and yeah, we'll keep the train rolling on EarnFi as well. And again, it's all part of good diversification, in and outside of crypto. So.
Right. Henry Jones says, are there any plans to have influencers do videos to promote EarnFi? I don't. We're still in beta, guys. Like this thing's still rolled out in beta. I'll let you touch on that, AJ.
Yeah, absolutely, Ryan. I mean, again, we, obviously we have a relationship with Ryan and Bernard and Bruno and all that we've done together. So the short answer is until we are out of beta, we're not gonna open it up to the wider crypto audience. And another cool thing which we touched on a few times, and we're getting closer and closer. We're actually hoping to release this bot to the public. So again, there will be a fee associated with that, and it will start doing crypto trading. But then hopefully, we can again tell you how to set it up on brokerages as well. So yeah, the goal is that we transition into that model now that we've proved that this does work on with EarnFi. So keep an eye out for that. Obviously, it is open to the public, so anybody can join and get involved. But we're probably not going to be promoting it heavily until we have the bots available for people as well.
Right. Yeah. Stephen Yu says, why not sell the Plazm you create for ETH and start another 77-day create period for better ROI? Why stake after you create? Well, this is probably, you're talking about my plan, Stephen, maybe? Well, it's because I'm not smart, first of all. And I'm doing it for the content to show you guys right in front of your faces what's going to be better. What's going to be like this number right here, this create, 18.54% for create, and half of that for stake. That could very well switch like instantly. Like you never know what's going to happen. That's why there's a little gamification in this. So I want to make sure that everyone can see what I've done, and we'll document it all because we'll do it on the lives. And I just want to do it just for content to show you, oh, this is what I made on the crate. This is what I made on the stake. Now we're going to do it again. I'm going to do it for over a year just because, I mean, you should know by now, Steve, if you watch me, that I'm not a smart man, but I'll do it for the people. It's all for the people, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, Ryan, you sacrifice for the people, brother. So yeah, and just to add to that, I mean, everything you said, Ryan, was perfect. Steve, the only other thing I want to add is like, yeah, I guess you could sell Plazm for ETH and then re-enter, but you're almost shooting yourself in the foot because that will also reduce ROI, in the short term. And like Ryan said, when the price goes down of Plazm, then staking can become more profitable, and the system is specifically designed that way, to mitigate exactly what you're saying, because obviously we don't want people just nuking the price and then either leaving or not being able to profit from future unlocks. So yeah, all that's built into the economics, and when you stake, there is still a small ETH fee that goes along with that. So no matter what, whether you're creating or staking, you're always feeding the bonds or the treasury. So either way, again, I think that's another mentality is even good actors in the system, they want to sell to ETH because then they can juice the bonds even more. But there's many other options that also help the TVL grow. So yeah, and again, there is no right or wrong answer. Maybe some people will do that. Some people will sell to ETH, and then you do that to create. It does have a short term impact, but long term, 2, 3, 5 cycles like Ryan's gonna do. The buy and burn will be massive by then. And so any kind of short term dump is going to be a blip on the radar for sure.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, like I said, guys, if you have more questions on Plazm, please go into the Telegram group and watch other YouTubers' videos on there. If you want to click their links, I do not care, guys. Click whoever link. Don't use a link at all. It does not matter to me. The referrals mean nothing. I give it away anyway to those who are effective. Bruno X. That's just me. So with that said, guys, I think we covered everything. AJ, anything to add?
Yeah, bro, another bullish show. Pulse Beta agrees. Excellent show. Again, we come to you every week, and I love to be able to interact with everybody in real time. I know it's hard, and we do our best to answer questions and update people in Telegram, whether it's Plazm or Bernard or EMP or any of those. But this is really the best part for all of us. We love doing the AMAs because we can answer directly and elaborate and give a full description and background on what we're doing. So yeah, please make sure to set your calendars every week. 7 Central, Brian, on Tuesdays,
Yep,
right? That's been our
every Tuesday.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So, but yeah, man, always a pleasure to be here, Ryan. Appreciate you. And yeah, man, we're always building and growing, and we can't guarantee results, but we can guarantee that we don't ever give up. And so, 10 years now, I feel like an old man in crypto. I mean, my beard is almost all white now. If you look at some of my early videos, it still has some color in it. So, oh man, but I know you feel the same way, Ryan. So.
Yeah, exactly. JT, can you guys make sure PACA pays their next epoch? Well, JT Smith, I got nothing to do with PACA. I wish everybody the best that's in PACA. I hope if someone wants to make a bet with me right now, I got $100, $1,000, whatever you guys want to put down, that there will be no payout on the 31st or the 1st or whatever the date is, because they're not taking a permanent loss right now. They're getting wrecked, but whatever. We're not going to talk about them. Scott Lee, if you're listening, if you're watching, please reach out. The olive branch is still extended to help you guys out. Impermanent loss or not, get it out of there. Get the money working for your people. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. I wish you guys nothing but the best. But with that said, guys, I think we've explained everything every week here. Doc's team, AJ's here answering questions. I'm here. Hit us up in the DMs. Hit us up in the Telegram groups. We are always here to answer questions. Nowhere else will you find the people behind the project with their faces on screen. And that is super, super important. It's what the space needs. It's what the space wants. Doxed wallets, every single protocol. All right, guys? No one else is doing it. So very, very important. All right? And I think that's about it, guys. I've stressed about, being doxed and all that stuff. It's so important. So, when you have the co-founder of all these things right in front of you every week, it's an amazing thing because no one else is doing it. Obviously, DexFi, there's a reason why Beefy Finance and Crystal and everything is looking at DexFi, and maybe they might even make an offer one day. You never know. Maybe AJ can retire one day and be like, we're done. So you never know what's going to happen, guys. But yeah, super guys, super team. They always building, always adapting, guys. So if you have any questions, let us know. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope everybody has a great rest of their Tuesday evening, and we'll see you in the next one.
Cheers.